Somebody brought it up at a meeting, and Trump was like, "Are you guys still talking about Epstein?" It's like, that's crazy. There's so much other stuff going on. I can't believe you're bringing up Epstein. Are you serious? God, get a life. You guys are obsessed with this shit. What the fuck? No one even cares. Yeah, it's so long ago. The guy killed himself and he was innocent. What the hell?
Yeah, it's insane that they're just being like, yeah, no, everything was cool, above board. Don't
Looks
worry.
like Trump dog.
Yeah,
it's tough not to fucking point some fingers.
Huge question.
He got killed.
Yeah, it's tough not to point some fingers.
Again, the guy was totally innocent, but he killed himself. Yeah, right? What?
Completely. Just watching the pegs slowly go into the hole.
Yeah. I mean, watching MAGA over the past.
Yeah.
What's that?
Watching MAGA over the past 10 years is like the scene in Idiocracy where they're doing the IQ test and it's basically putting the shapes in there and the dude's just slamming it in there.
Well,
yeah.
Well, now it's getting to the point where there's so many lights in the light bright that, you can't ignore the fact that it's starting to become a clown.
Yeah.
And you were there. There's so many photos of them chilling.
Allegedly hung with his staff.
I know. Yeah.
Allegedly hung with his staff.
The cope on Trump's innocent. The cope is fucking pretty intense.
All right, so Trump just keeps making people even more suspicious of his involvement with Epstein, and he decided to address it again to try to get people to stop talking about it, which of course just amplified it even more. And this is just getting...
The Streisand effect is just not working out for them. Like, don't look over here, look over there. What?
Yeah, he just hung out with the staff with 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, that's all. And then like MAGA's like, he's never went to the island. It's like he was on the plane. It's not like anything untoward's never happened on a plane.
Also, he has his own plane. He could go to the island wherever the fuck he wants.
My take is that he just delivered to Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, there were girls who were recruited from Mar-a-Lago.
Lots of them, yeah.
I mean, it's well known that that's where Maxwell would hunt.
Pathetic. I mean, this seems like a Hail Mary attempt from Trump, because now not only does he claim that there's no Epstein clients or blackmail operation, but also turns out the Epstein files were just a psyop created by Hillary Clinton to try to take down Trump. What a turn of events. People thought she's trying to cover up the Epstein files, but it turns out she's the one that created them, according to Trump, her along with Obama and the Biden administration. So I guess we got it all wrong. And they created the files to try to get Trump's fan base to turn on him. But I guess that kind of backfired, because also Trump claims they forgot to actually put anything in the files to implicate him. Because
this is just like Project 2025. I disagree with some of it, but I don't know. I never read it. It's like...
So, yeah.
Remember, you're supposed to highlight every time he says Epstein, because he says Epstein like half a dozen times in this post.
Didn't Elon point that out?
Yes, Elon did.
Because he said they would have used it against him already if they did. So apparently they created the Epstein files to try to destroy Trump, but they didn't even put anything in there that made him look bad. And then also in the process of the Clintons trying to take down Trump with this, they accidentally implicated themselves in Epstein's operation, according to Trump.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool.
Wait a minute. Prince Andrew said that he never had anything to do with anything and he never sweats, and that
yeah, right.
Whose mother paid how much and lost. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use my MAGA brain to see how I could twist this to where it doesn't make sense, and it's not working.
A lot of horrible stuff went on that island. I wouldn't know. What?
They really think that we're all stupid. And I think the fact that,
Well, half the country is. Half the country is MAGA. They are.
I think the fact that there's part of MAGA that knows that what he is doing is extremely unpopular, including the bill. And they're using this as a mask to jump ship. I really do.
So,
The Clintons are friends
and
of
he's been
yours,
there
right?
for many times.
The Clintons are friends.
Well, I can't say friends, but I know
You're friendly. You know them.
they play at my clubs a lot. I have clubs, and everybody likes to play
Are
at
you
my
saying
clubs.
there's a political problem for her if she runs for president?
It could be a political problem. Look, he could be a political problem. Right now, he's Teflon, and right now, maybe not. But he could end up being a political
I want to
problem.
ask one question.
So Trump went from implying the Clintons are scared of the Epstein list coming out to now saying they're the ones that wrote the list. I mean, it's just hilarious. You know, this guy gives no fucks anymore. I mean, leading up to the last election, it felt like every day someone was like, oh man, the Clintons and Bill Gates, they're really scared of Trump winning because they know Trump's going to release the files. Even Elon said this, but then he went on to claim that Trump's scared to release them because he's in there. Like, this is just such a joke. It's unbelievable at this point. I just assume they're all in on it.
Known Epstein clients, who are obviously extremely powerful and very wealthy, are,
Oh yeah, did you see Elon's latest tweet where he's like even implicating Bannon even further in the Epstein files?
Yep. Yeah, I think Bannon's in there. I think Elon's in there. He was good buddies with Ghislaine Maxwell.
I mean, how many? I've seen photos with him with Ghislaine.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen photos with Trump with Ghislaine. Now,
Yeah.
It seems to me like you can't be around her unless you have a lot of money. And so
Yeah.
I think Elon knows something. He never participated in anything, but he knows something because he knew that he could eventually use this as leverage. And that's why he did use it as leverage when the time came. Like, he was well informed of everything that was going on and was like, I think that I can use this to either get, I don't know, like more subsidies, or if I don't get subsidies, I can drop this. You know that he just kept this in his back pocket the whole time. You know it.
Yeah. Said I don't know whether he was involved or not. I think he probably was. He's a weirdo.
I don't think that he's involved with the list just because he is being so adamant about releasing the list.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, I mean, if you notice when Trump was asked about it, how he waffled, but
It doesn't really matter to you. I mean, no matter what happens from this point forward, Elon Musk is going to live out the rest of his life rich and comfortable. He doesn't have to worry about getting a job. He doesn't have to worry about being, even if he's a social pariah, like, it doesn't fucking matter. He's going to live out the rest of his life rich and comfortable.
well, he wouldn't be a social pariah. He could end up being a felon and in prison. And
He'd just go back to South Africa. He's not going to stay here.
I seriously think that one thing I have to say is that if he was involved, he wouldn't be as adamant as he is about releasing it and talking about people that are on it.
Unless he knows that Trump will never release it, and
Is just like calling bluff that he knows can't be called. That's an interesting theory.
I mean, a lot of the people I think out there that are doing this now, they know he's never going to release it, and that's why they're pushing the bluff. Like, Alan Dershowitz is out there lying every fucking day, and he knows, because he knows Trump's never going to release that shit. He knows. He's on there, and so is Trump.
There's too many people on there. And that's the take that the hardcore Trumpers are sticking with.
Oh, there's a ton of people on there. There's a lot of rich, powerful, and influential people on the list.
Look at this truth that I put in the chat. It says, there's nothing viable to proceed an investigation from crimes 20 years ago. So now these Trumpers are just going, nope, it's too late. They're just believing what Trump says. Continuing.
Oh.
Thousands of CP found is why a millionaire killed himself, not because of some stupid LARP about Jews and bloodletting for blood derivative.
Well, this is going to go two ways now with MAGA. Is either they support somebody who's, for lack of better words, a trafficker, or they don't. The more excuses they make, the worse it looks. And that's not going to go well for the midterms.
Gates, Bill Clinton, and Reid Hoffman. And some others too, but those three. So, why was Reid Hoffman so intent on destroying Trump?
Do you think it's because they're worried about the list coming out?
Yeah, one of the reasons. Yeah. I think part of why Kamala's getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires.
Oh shit, that's the interview where he was like, yeah, if Trump doesn't win, you're going to jail. Remember that?
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that specifically.
Why would Kamala voters care if the list becomes public? She's not on it.
I think they just have this idea that we're so afraid of like Bill Clinton showing up on the list. Like we're just like, no, we don't care.
Okay, bye-bye, Bill Clinton.
Yeah, shouldn't have been on the list doing that kind of mess.
Yeah, you do that, you go away. Bye-bye. Don't care. It's like, and he was the president for like my childhood, but it's still like, he did a good job, but it doesn't matter. Like, you do that shit, you go away.
Billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Transparency. Transparency is coming. We had a lot of defiance, I think is the word you were looking for, from the radical left. And now they're going to panic because they don't want anybody to know who was on Epstein's Island, who was a pedo, and who is probably still sitting in D.C. And the reality of the situation is this: there will be accountability, and America deserves it. We needed to know what the drones are. We needed to know that we were okay. We need to know about Epstein's Island. We want to know about JFK.
Speaking of which, how is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out.
Man.
Oh my God, holy shit, that's amazing.
Look at those DSLs. And also on Alina Habba. Anyway, what?
Dude, like, if he projected any harder, it'd be IMAX. Like, he's like,
yeah.
I can't believe he just had the balls to say that. Hold on a second.
So here's my question for you. Do you think Junior and Eric are on that too?
I just have to.
We need to know about Epstein's Island. We want to know about JFK.
Speaking of which, how is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out how that's possible, right, folks? It's almost like they're trying to protect those files for some reason. I can't imagine why, right?
Nah. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, well, What do you think? You think Don Jr. and Eric are on there too?
I don't know, but
there are pictures of all of them together, but
yeah,
I just can't believe what I just saw. I mean, it's beyond comical.
It's like Don Jr. and Eric were kids in the pictures I've seen, but hey, start them young and get them into the trafficking business.
I mean, I'm sure eventually they, learn about certain dealings, and it's just part of the family hush hush. But with him saying what he just said, I can't. I can't.
And to go along with it, I have this chud right now on True Social telling me Pelosi and Schumer and Comey told him don't share it, and now AOC said don't you dare. So they're just projecting. They're just saying no, the Democrats did it. It's just this is their cope.
But none of it makes any sense. None of the you can literally ask one question and the logic is defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. If Schumer and Comey are on the list too, fuck them too.
Yeah.
Don't care.
I don't think they understand just how much we're like, no, fuck them.
Yeah, see, they don't have principles. That's what they don't understand. MAGA does not have principles. They don't understand how we can just stand there firm and say, yeah, we hate pedophiles. They're just like, everything's political to them. So they're just like, we hate Democrat pedophiles. It's like, what about Republican ones? Well, you see, that she was coming on to him or some stupid shit.
Yeah, you're always going to get the goalposts moved somehow when it's their team, just like, the person that shot the firefighters in Idaho, once they found out it was MAGA, it was like, no, they're trans. It's like, no, they're not. It's one of yours.
It's what I've been saying for the last couple of years. They have no principles. They have no morals. They never meant anything that they ever said. They will say anything that's convenient to them.
At the time,
I don't
just
take
to make
these
sure
people
that
at their word anymore. I just don't.
Just to ensure that, just to ensure that they don't crash out, really. So I can't believe that clip. That was astounding right there.
And now, since the FBI concluded the Epstein investigation, Prince Andrew is allowed to travel freely. So who's protecting the clients now? I mean, everybody keeps saying Pam Bondi, like they're trying to make her the scapegoat.
Mom was screaming about the deep state forever, and it's so funny because it's like they're the deep state now. Trump and Patel and Bondi and Bongino are the deep state.
I think that's why Bongino's crashing out so hard. He spent years saying this and preaching against the deep state and saying that what the liberals were saying about Donald Trump wasn't true. And now he's inside. He knows it is true.
And he
doesn't know what to do.
That's probably why he was like, I haven't slept. I've been having marital problems and whatnot. Yeah, because you're realizing you've been conned, bro.
Mm-hmm. You realize we were right the whole time. We were warning you, and you called us libtards and said it was TDS.
Now look at you.
Which she is a joke, but people are just singling her out because they're trying to do any mental gymnastics they can to try to avoid pointing the finger at Trump, which just makes things even more embarrassing for them because after everybody kept blaming Pam Bondi, Trump came out and said she's doing an amazing job, and he's telling his followers nobody actually cares about the files, and if you keep talking about it, you're playing into the Clintons' agenda, and it's terrible for his administration and the country. So he might as well admit he's in the files at this point, but he probably thinks if people were dumb enough to believe that he'd actually release them, then they're dumb enough to believe that it's just a psyop pushed by the Democrats to get you to turn on him, because it was pretty obvious he wasn't going to release the list. I mean, even Rogan last November was mocking people who were saying the list is coming out once Trump is in office, and Ari's like, yeah, why would Trump tell on himself? But of course, when Elon says people are scared the list is coming out, Joe's all dramatic and takes it seriously. But around his friends, he's like, yeah, that's never going to happen.
That was under the Trump administration.
Yeah. Well,
when Epstein got killed.
Listen, it didn't matter what administration. That is some very powerful people. It has nothing to do with who's the president.
No, I know, but
Why hasn't that come out?
Not a word, not a list, not a thing, nothing.
Well, Jesus is still there.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
And I would imagine it's not going to either.
No, it ain't.
He's lame. Everybody's like, when Trump gets in office, the Epstein. Yeah.
Yeah, right. He's going to tell it himself.
Yeah.
So it sounds like.
Yeah, he's going to tell on himself.
Even they know. They're just like, come on. Like, he was besties with Epstein for 25 years.
Didn't stop him from endorsing him. What angers me about Joe Rogan is how all of a sudden, like, he's quote unquote seeing the light, and it's like a little too late, dude. It's kind of your fault.
There is no seeing the light. I'm sorry. So here's the thing. Historians, they have a word for people who join the Nazi party for reasons other than their hatred of Jews, for like political or social reasons, or in economic reasons. They call them Nazis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry, really.
Nobody gives a fuck why you joined the Dark Empire. Like, nobody gives a fuck why you joined the Death Star. You did.
The fact is you're there. This was a voluntary choice. Now people that are involuntarily pressed is a different story.
Mm-hmm. These people chose to join the Dark Army.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that did it.
Rogan knows Trump is on the list, and that's why it'll never come out. But of course, he has to play dumb because he endorsed Trump. He had him on his podcast. Some people would say that's the reason why Trump won the election. So if he's the reason why an Epstein client became president and covered up the Epstein files, that would be terrible. I mean, Andrew Schultz, who also had Trump on, he's kind of grappling with this. He's having a tough time. He's starting to realize that he's just a useful idiot, and Trump was telling him what he wants.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, he's been crashing out hard.
He has. I've seen some of his shit, man.
Well, wow. I mean, it's not exactly like he was like a political juggernaut to begin with. So a lot of people went into these political discussions with a half-baked theory of how civics works, and then they just kind of let Trump lie his way around the interview, and they were like, oh yeah, really? So it was almost like they were getting their confirmation bias, like baked in from the source. So
yeah.
Blinded by the glitz. Do you think so?
But did Joe Rogan have Kamala Harris on, or did she decline?
She declined.
She declined. Okay. Probably a mistake on her part.
Yeah, but I think she was curious that, so much of her base would be like, I can't believe you're going on Joe Rogan. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Whereas the thing is, somebody with a microphone that big, if you don't go on there, that's people you're not missing. She could have laid her policies out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Newsom had Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon on, not because he wanted to be friends with them, but because he wants to make sure that their crowd knows who Gavin Newsom is.
Yeah, she could have went on Joe Rogan and she could have shown all his fans that they're straight up lying when they say she doesn't know her policy. She doesn't have policies. She could have shown that, but I think that was a big mistake on her part. Really. Or just send Tim Walz to do it. Like, she didn't have to do it.
He would have done great on Rogan, I bet.
Yeah. He's not a good debater, but he's a very social guy. He's a very good, speaker.
Yeah, I mean, he can just sit and, one-on-one, because he's used to working with kids, you know what I mean? Like, he can just, one-on-one get that teacher.
He's a good shoot the shit kind of guy. Mm-hmm. He would have been the guy for that job.
The kind of guy you'd want to have a beer with, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to hear, And people keep messaging him saying this is what you voted for, and you could tell it's really getting to him. He brought it up 2 different times and is like, I didn't vote for any of this. So him, Rogan, and Theo Vaughn are going to try to backtrack on their Trump endorsement, which should be hilarious.
To that point, like there'll be people that like they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do.
These DMs or comments are like,
it's almost like he's a liar and he lied to you.
It's almost like the people you called libtards and said had TDS were telling you the truth the entire time.
It's almost like that.
Yeah.
And like,
it's almost like Project 2025 was real.
Well, the thing that is just so absolutely infuriating is how many times you just got told fake news.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, no, that's I genuinely have your best interest in mind. But I guess this, like anything, it has to affect them personally. Like their conspiracy has to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
So annoying.
like when Trump does something, they're like, so this is the guy that you voted for? And it's like, no, actually, I didn't vote for expanding the budget. I didn't vote for continuous foreign. This is the exact opposite of the things that people voted for. So, yeah, it's horrible. All that shit is horrible.
His campaign worked.
Yeah, and yeah,
it's what it is.
But
He's a salesman.
So,
He's a salesman.
Well, here's the thing.
And also Schultz, Joe Rogan, and Theo Vaughn, these guys are obsessed with the Epstein story. You know, they talk about it all the time on their podcasts. But when they had Trump on, they didn't mention it once. They didn't ask him a single question about it. You know, they didn't even ask if he'd released the files. And people would probably say because Trump or his team told them not to ask that. But if that's the case, isn't that really suspicious? You know, if he has nothing to hide.
But it only makes sense. Be like, here's a list of things you're not allowed to ask about. Wait a minute, why am I not allowed to ask about the Epstein files?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
so
well,
that would mean Joe
wouldn't
Rogan was complicit with that.
Why would you have a problem with people asking you about the Epstein files? Hey, ask me if I'm in the Epstein files.
Yeah. Just real quick, hurry up. Ask any of us in this chat.
Yeah, I'm not. See how quick that answer came? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm fucking not, and I know I'm not.
It seems like if you need to hem and haw when asked that kind of question, you kind of gave your answer already.
Yeah. It's like if you ask somebody, it's like if they're a murderer and they're just like,
define
like,
murder. That's always my favorite one. The Jordan Peterson route. Well, define, and then because then he can
Right.
take you on some straw man journey.
What do you mean by you, and what do you mean by are?
Welcome to Burger King. Would you like a hamburger and French fries? What are French fries exactly? Are they potatoes or are they some form of post-potato existence in this neo-Marxist world?
And are there any Jews in them?
Are these potatoes cultural Marxist? I'm sorry, my Kermit impersonation's not that good. I'm sure if I tried harder, it could be.
It's like, it kind of reminds me of that scene from Archer where he's like, asks Krieger, he's like, what, are you some kind of serial killer? And Krieger's just like, I'm not a serial killer. He's like, wait, what? What'd you just fucking say?
Who cares if they ask about it?
Happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February.
So we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're the fucking idiots, guys. Just to let you know, we're wasting time.
I didn't say it.
Glad you could admit it.
I didn't say it. I'm just pointing that out there. I'm not the one that said that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to make sure that my ears weren't tricking me.
Tinfoil hats are...
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February.
So we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're the fucking idiots, guys. Just to let you know,
I mean,
we're
look at
wasting time.
us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point.
That is, like, in all seriousness, that is, I think, what is enraging people right now is it's insulting our intelligence. Like, obviously, the intelligence community is trying to cover it up. Obviously, the Trump administration is trying to cover up. Something changed because they ran on this idea of exposing it all. All these guys had great ideas. Cockeyed Cash, Dan Bongino. Once you protect files, you are the most cockeyed person.
I hear that
So all
right?
these Rogan Sphere pop.
Cockeyed Cash.
Cockeyed Cash.
He has the depth perception of Dan Crenshaw. Yeah.
The best thing he can see is the bridge of his nose. Can't see past that. Certainly, if you can't see past the bridge of your nose, you certainly can't see the files.
That's why he thinks there's no files. Well, rest assured, Cash Patel has his eye on it.
Yeah, like a cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasters are jumping ship. Like Dave Smith, who voted for Trump, he said last month that he should be impeached. And now he just said the cover-up of the Epstein situation is worse than the cover-up of Biden's dementia. And then Tim Dillon, who had on J.D. Vance before the election, said after the Epstein fiasco, this administration might outweigh how stupid the last one was. So it's got to be getting really tough for some of these other influencers whose whole career is just glazing Trump. Because how do you make sense of this? Like Benny Johnson, who is the biggest Trump dick rider out there, he reacted to Trump's post about the Clintons creating the files.
Like, even the cover-up of the cover-up is bad. Like, it got pointed out that Adobe was used to manufacture the cover-up
video
tape.
and edit it.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's at 11:20. Don't quote me on that, but let's find out. At 11:20, you can see the editing frame, the actual tool software.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not even a professional video editor, and I know not to not to do that. They were so worried about getting this done and out there that they did a total slapdash job. And it reminds me of with Van Hollen when he was down there and they took the photos with, they had waters in front of them and then they staged the margaritas.
Yeah.
But then he was like, okay, well, if we drank margaritas, there'd be some salt missing around the rim, wouldn't there? They have these evil, horrible, sneaky ideas, but they're too dumb to pull them off properly.
Also, Benny Johnson is the straightest gay man I've ever seen.
Oh, that dude sneezes glitter, man.
Oh yeah.
I think it's where we're at, but they're not ready for it. When we say if the Democrats are on it, fine, release the files. If they're saying that since the beginning, going, we don't care who's on it, release all the information, then the Republicans realize that they're in it. But all they have is projecting and blaming Democrats now.
Well, once the Republicans realize that the official thing that they're getting from Democrats is, yeah, release it, then they're like, oh no.
See, the thing is, they think we're calling a bluff when we're just like, no, that's actually what we want. Like, come on, do it.
Yeah, well, see, the difference is we don't make excuses for our people if they're in there. We'll trebuchet them into the sun.
Yep. And that's they will make it for their people. That's why they think we're bluffing. No, we're not bluffing.
They think we're like them. They're not like us.
they always do that. They always think we're like them. Yeah.
Not this time. This is a bipartisan issue. I'm here for it. Really, I am.
And he didn't know what to make of it. And this guy, like, his whole job is just trying to defend Trump and kiss his ass. And even he is like, I don't know what's going on here. This makes no sense.
Okay. So President Trump has acknowledged that the Epstein files exist here. President Trump has acknowledged that the files were written and that there is something there. He says that they were written, however, by his enemies and therefore will not be released. What? That's new in this entire zeitgeist. This is something that is wildly interesting. And then he goes all in on supporting Cash Patel and Pam Bondi. No mention of Dan Bongino, where all of this, again, sort of transpired. By admitting that the Epstein files are real and have been written and that you've read them and you don't like their contents and they were written by your enemies, doesn't make the most compelling case as far as I'm concerned.
So when he realizes that he's been shelling for a liar the whole time, he knew he's been doing shilling for a liar the whole time, and he cannot figure out how to get out of this lie.
Here's the thing. This is going to blow over. Benny Johnson is going to go right back to riding Trump's dick.
The thing is, it's only going to blow over if we let it blow over.
Well, here's the thing. Within 3 weeks, that's my prediction. Within 3 weeks, Benny Johnson will be riding Trump's dick again. 100%.
Thing is they're all going to try to pretend like his business is normal. But every single troll that they try with us is going to be met with, so why not release the Epstein files?
Yeah.
Like, I think it was the White House even released something. It was Rep Garcia. It was like an AI photo of him like crying because of something to do with immigration. Just, just being cruel dicks like they love to be. And he responded with, why are you in this photo with Epstein? Why aren't you releasing the files?
Nice. Yeah, do it.
Yeah. I mean, Newsom is doing the same. Like, all of them are punching back. Like, okay, well, you've been able to use this Roy Cohn 101 bullshit to be able to deflect your way out of any situation and make the cult believe you. But this one time when you try doing that, it actually backfires on you. And I am here for it.
Holy moly.
And Trump didn't mention Dan Bongino because he reportedly went rogue and had a shouting match with Trump's chief of staff and Pam Bondi, and then skipped work on Friday and now is threatening to resign if they don't fire Pam Bondi, which it looks like Trump is choosing Bondi over him, and people are disappointed about it, but it seems like he's our best bet right now for getting any answers. If he resigns, hopefully he has enough backbone to explain what's going on. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And if you want to hear more about how Epstein clients have been using Joe Rogan's podcast to try to exonerate themselves and convince his audience that they're the good guys that met with Epstein, make sure you check out my Patreon. I talk a lot about that, and also who Rogan's handler is and how Tim Dillon exposed him recently. And I just posted a video about how woke AI
He didn't mention how Cash Patel was on the Joe Rogan show when this whole thing came out, and he's like, I don't know nothing about it. I know nothing.
Whoops.
Yeah, it's a fucking hostage video. He knows what happened.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the video. There's zero color, like zero. And the way that he says he killed himself, like, you can tell that he did not want to say those words. Like, the body language alone is just insane.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. It's like, yeah, now you know. Now you know. You're being forced to lie.
Well, two questions, and it still goes back to everything before we wrap this up. And that's, if there is no list, if there's no clients, why is Maxwell in jail? And if Clinton, Obama, and Biden made the list, why are they supposedly on them? So there's something for everybody to chew on. Until the next time we see you. Later, skaters.
Later, everybody.
Go to skipfransjr.net for podcasts.
Record player that I could just spin records all the time.
I run into the bathroom and I'm covered in blood. Like I had put my tooth through my bottom lip.
For music. For gaming and pro-liberty game rants. That's skipfransjr.net.